Hello everyone, and welcome to the SustainaWhat Webisode series, the City of Cape Canaveral's monthly virtual public outreach program designed to educate and inform residents about all the latest happenings regarding our local environment, technology, and infrastructure. My name is Zach Eichels, and I serve as the city's Sustainability Program Manager and Resilience Planner, and I will be your host for today's webisode. Today we will be having a look at sea turtles. Sea turtles are a common annual sight in Brevard County and along the Florida East Coast for that matter. The official nesting season began on March 1st and really begins to ramp up after May 1st. These beautiful marine reptiles have been on the planet in some form for millions of years and can be found throughout the world's oceans. Some are relatively small and some are simply massive. Today, however, they unfortunately face numerous threats, and many species are either listed officially as threatened or endangered. Through educational programs such as this webisode, we hope to raise awareness about these animals and give some insights into how you can help them stay safe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's presentation. Let's talk about sea turtles. Sea turtles are a marine reptile that are highly migratory, frequently roaming across the world's oceans pretty much everywhere except the planet's polar regions. There are currently 7 species of sea turtles in existence, with 6 of these 7 having nesting locations in the United States. Sea turtles have been on the planet in some form for millions of years, can live multi-decade lifespans, sometimes being over 100 years old, and they can weigh hundreds of pounds, with some being over 1,000 pounds in size. According to the Sea Turtle Preservation Society, Florida hosts an astounding 90% of the sea turtle nests laid in the U.S. each season, and loggerhead sea turtles make up a huge part of Brevard County's nesting area, having the largest nesting aggregation site anywhere in the world for that particular species of sea turtle. 3 of the world's 7 species of sea turtles nest regularly on our beaches, in fact. Sea turtles incubate for roughly 50 to 60 days before hatchlings emerge from the sand and head towards the ocean. As stated on the previous slides, sea turtles have been around for millions of years, essentially remaining unchanged for at least 110 million years specifically. Sea turtles go as far back as the Cretaceous period, during the time of the dinosaurs, with some ancient sea turtle species being larger than those found today, as depicted by the artist representation on the slide. 2 of the 4 families of sea turtles that have existed are still alive today, as seen on this diagram here. Today, sea turtles are under stress by numerous human-induced hazards, with all of the sea turtle species that nest within the U.S. being considered either officially threatened or endangered, some critically. Sea turtles are facing destruction of vital habitat, the risk of boat strikes, fishing incidents, poaching, pollution, usually in the form of solid waste, such as plastic debris, and increasing disruptions from climate change, effects of which include altered habitat areas due to warming ocean waters, ocean acidification, and changing natural sex ratios, which are determined by nest incubation temperatures within the sand. A common phrase used by researchers to remember this fact is, quote, cool dudes and hot chicks, unquote, meaning to say that cooler sand temperatures lead to more males being born, and warmer sand temperatures lead to more females being born on average. In Brevard County, 3 of the world's 7 sea turtle species have nesting sites. These are the loggerhead, the leatherback, and the green sea turtles. The immense leatherback sea turtles typically are the first to arrive and begin nesting sometime in March. The loggerhead sea turtles join the nesting activity a few weeks later, typically in mid-April. The green sea turtles are the last to join and tend to arrive to nest in late May or early June. Volunteers from the Sea Turtle Preservation Society, a frequent city partner, begin monitoring the beach for nesting activity in mid-April and continue through the fall. City staff begin monitoring the beach consistently for turtle activity in March and will alert local authorities to activity that is seen. Usually, nesting activity occurs at night. Brevard County and the City of Cape Canaveral have a lights out ordinance effective May May 1st through October 31st that requires all lights visible from the beach to be either covered, blocked, moved, or turned off from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. This includes flashlights, cell phones, and even red lights. And it is true that although sea turtles are less affected by red light, they can still see it. Now let's briefly review each of the world's 7 sea turtle species, so that in case you see one, you'll know how to identify it. We'll start with one of Brevard's most common, the loggerhead, as seen here. Of all the sea turtles that nest in the U.S., the loggerhead is one of the most often seen. The loggerhead was listed in the U.S. under the Endangered Species Act as threatened in 1978. Loggerhead populations in Honduras, Mexico, Colombia, Israel, Turkey, the Bahamas, Cuba, Greece, Japan, and Panama have all unfortunately been declining. The majority of loggerhead nesting sites are concentrated in 2 main areas around the world, one being in Oman in the Middle East, and of course the other being in the southeast United States, specifically in Florida in Brevard County. They have large heads, hence their name, and a spiky shell, and nest at intervals of every 2 to 4 years. They lay 3 to 6 nests per season, approximately 12 to 14 days apart. Each female lays on average between 100 to 126 eggs in each nest. Eggs will incubate for about 60 days. For their diet, they are primarily carnivorous and feed mostly on shellfish that live on the bottom of the ocean. They eat horseshoe crabs, clams, mussels, and other invertebrates. Their powerful jaw muscles help them to easily crush any shellfish they may find. Here's a graphic showing their huge territory range, with loggerheads being found across and along the coastlines of each equatorial ocean. It is not uncommon for loggerhead sea turtles to travel thousands of miles within their lifetimes. Next, we have the green sea turtle, which is named for the green color of the fat under its shell. Green sea turtles are a threatened species around the world, but they still nest in increasing numbers, thankfully, on the east coast of Florida. The green sea turtle was listed in the U.S. under the Endangered Species Act as endangered in 1978. Their diet changes significantly during their life. When less than 8 to 10 inches in length, they eat worms, young crustaceans, aquatic insects, grasses, and algae. Once green sea turtles reach 8 to 10 inches in length and bigger, they mostly eat seagrass and algae, the only sea turtle that is strictly an herbivore as an adult. Their jaws are finely serrated, which aids them in tearing vegetation. They can grow to be 3 to 4 feet in length and weigh up to 420 pounds. They mainly stay near the coastline and around islands and live in bays and protected shores, especially in areas with seagrass beds. They are rarely observed in the open ocean. Here is the mighty leatherback, the largest sea turtle species. They are named for their unique shell, which is composed of a layer of thin, tough, rubbery skin, strengthened by thousands of tiny bone plates that make up a leathery look. Leatherbacks can weigh over 1,000 pounds and grow on average to be 4 to 6 feet in length. However, the largest leatherback ever recorded was an incredible 10 feet long and weighed over 2,000 pounds, so essentially the size of a small automobile. Leatherback sea turtles are primarily found in the open ocean, as far north as Alaska and as far south as the southern tip of Africa, though recent satellite tracking research indicates that leatherbacks feed in areas just offshore. Known to be active in water below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, they're the only reptile known to remain active in such low temperatures. Leatherbacks have delicate scissor-like jaws. Their jaws would be damaged by anything other than a diet of soft-bodied animals, so they feed almost exclusively on jellyfish. Leatherbacks nest at intervals of 2 to 3 years, though recent research has indicated they can nest every year. They nest between 4 to 7 times per season, with an average of 10 days between nestings. They lay on average, they lay about 80 fertilized eggs the size of billiard balls, and 30 smaller unfertilized eggs in each nest. Eggs incubate for about 65 days. Unlike other species, sea Unlike other species of sea turtles, leatherback females may change nesting beaches, though they tend to stay in the same region. Here is the Hawksbill sea turtle, named for its narrow head and hawk-like beak. Hawkbills can grow up to 3 feet long and weigh up to 154 pounds. They are typically found around coastal reefs, rocky areas, estuaries, and lagoons. The hawksbill narrow head and jaws, shaped like a beak, allow it to get food from crevices and coral reefs. They eat sponges, anemones, squid, and shrimp. Hawkbills nest at intervals of 2 to 4 years. They nest between 3 to 6 times per season and lay on average of 160 eggs in each nest. Eggs incubate for about 60 days. The greatest threat to hawksbill sea turtles is the harvesting of their prized shell, often referred to as tortoise shell. In some countries, the shell is still used to make their ornaments, jewelry, and other decorative items. This is the Kemp's Ridley sea turtle, named after Richard Kemp, who helped discover and study the turtle. No one is sure why it is called Ridley, possibly due to having similar nesting behavior as the olive Ridley, which will be the next turtle we review shortly. I actually have a personal connection to the Kemp's Ridley. As a high schooler, I used to work for the Gumbo Limbo Nature Center in Boca Raton, Florida, which housed a Kemp's Ridley sea turtle named Wiggy. He was in his 60s at the time and was very grumpy with other sea turtles, so they had to have him in his own tank where he liked to be alone and just happily eat his squid. The Gumbo Limbo Nature Center is a research and rescue center for sea turtles, primarily in South Florida. Kemp's Ridleys are among the smallest sea turtles, growing to be only on average 2 feet long and weighing upwards of just over 100 pounds. They have powerful jaws that help them to crush and grind crabs, clams, mussels, and shrimp. They also like to eat fish, sea urchins, squid, and of course, jellyfish. They prefer shallow areas with sandy and muddy bottoms. Adults are mostly limited to the Gulf of Mexico. Juveniles range between tropical and temperate coastal areas of the Northwest Atlantic Ocean and can be found up and down the east coast of the United States. Now we come to the olive Ridley, named for its olive green colored shell. Adults can be up to 2.5 feet long and weigh as much as 100 pounds. They have powerful jaws that allow for an omnivore diet of crustaceans such as shrimp, crabs, mollusk, tunic, and fish. Olive Ridleys are generally found in coastal bays and estuaries, but can be very oceanic over some parts of their range. They typically forage offshore in surface waters or dive to depths of up to 500 feet to feed on bottom-dwelling crustaceans. Olive Ridley nest every year in mass synchronized nestings called arribadas, which is Spanish for arrival, which I probably did not say correctly. Only the Kemp's Ridley also nests this way. It nests 2 times each season, and an average nest size is over 110 eggs, which require a 52 to 58 day incubation period. Finally, we come to the flatback sea turtle, which is named for its very flat shell. Flatback sea turtles are only found in the waters of Australia and can grow to be up to 3.25 feet long and weigh up to 198 pounds. Flatbacks eat cucumbers, jellyfish, mollusks, prawns, and other invertebrates and seaweed. They prefer turbid inshore waters, bays, coastal coral reef, and grassy shallows. They nest 4 times per season and lay an average of 50 eggs at a time. The eggs incubate for about 55 days. When the hatchlings emerge, they are larger than most sea turtle species. So let's review some of the biggest dangers to sea turtles today in a little bit more detail. Pollution is a major issue for sea turtles, especially solid waste pollution in the form of plastics drifting in the ocean. Some types of plastic, especially plastic bags, look very similar to jellyfish, and as we've already seen, sea turtles usually love to eat jellyfish. A large number of sea turtles as of late have been found containing plastic in their digestive tracts, suggesting more and more plastic pollution is making its way into the environment. Sea turtles can also be hit by boats like manatees can, and they can be accidentally caught in fishing nets. Each year, more than 250,000 sea turtles are accidentally captured, injured, or killed by U.S. fishermen. Many of these injuries and deaths take place while turtles are migrating through fishing areas. The turtles, attracted to the bait, get caught on the hooks used to catch fish. Light pollution can also negatively affect sea turtles. First, though, what is light pollution? Light pollution is defined by the International Dark Sky Association as the inappropriate or excessive use of artificial light that can have serious environmental consequences. Nesting turtles once had no trouble finding a quiet, dark beach on which to nest, but now they must compete with tourists, businesses, and coastal residents for use of sandy beaches. U.S. beaches, popular with humans and turtles alike, of course, are now lined with seaside condominiums, houses, and hotels. Lights from these developments discourage females from nesting. If a female fails to nest after multiple false crawls, she will resort to less than optimal nesting spots or deposit her eggs directly in the ocean. In either case, the survival outlook for hatchlings is slim. Nighttime and human activity in general can prevent sea turtles from emerging on the beach, or even cause females to stop nesting and return to the ocean. Beach furniture and other recreational equipment like cabanas, surfboards, umbrellas, canoes, shovels, chairs, buckets, and beach cycles can reduce nesting success and increase false crawls on nesting beaches. There is also increasing documentation of nesting females becoming entrapped in beach furniture. Holes dug by people can also cause sea turtles to become trapped if they were to fall in. In light of this, here are some important things to be aware of. The official sea turtle season, again, here in Brevard County, begins on March 1st and runs to October 31st, with activity really picking up by May 1st. Never, ever interfere with nesting sea turtles, eggs, or hatchlings. They are protected under federal and state law, and interfering with them could yield to serious penalties. If you go to the beach, pick up after yourself, and leave only footprints behind, as they say. Fill in holes dug at the beach, turn off beach-facing lights starting May 1st, and watch where you step when you're on the beach, especially at night. Another important tip to practice is not releasing balloons into the sky, especially being as close to the ocean as we are. What goes up eventually does come down, and sometimes balloons come down and deflate over the ocean. Researchers have documented sea turtles that have ingested or tried to ingest balloons because, like plastic bags, they can be mistaken for food. Here are two examples of sea turtle tracks that you may see on the beach. The one on the left represents what is known as a false crawl, or a track where a sea turtle, for whatever reason, did not nest and return to the ocean. The picture on the right shows a crawl where a sea turtle made its way up to the dunes, made a nest, and then returned to the ocean. On the beach, hatchlings must escape natural predators like birds, crabs, raccoons, and foxes to make it to the sea. Once in the water, hatchlings can be consumed by seabirds and fish as well. Few actually survive to adulthood, with survival rate estimates ranging from 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 10,000. This is why we must do everything that we can on our end to stay clear of these hatchlings and give them the best possible chance of survival. How can you help? Know the local number for sea turtle emergencies. In Brevard County, call the Sea Turtle Preservation Society's emergency response line at 321-206-0646. That's 321-206-0646. It is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You can also call the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, or FWC hotline at 888-404-3922. That's 888-404-3922. If you want more information on what to do in sea turtle emergencies, please use the link in the description below to the Sea Turtle Preservation Society's website. Other general ways you can help sea turtles is to reduce your use of single-use plastics, attend beach cleanups, raise awareness, help with beach habitat restoration projects, such as Cape Canaveral's annual sea oats planting. Even doing a little can go further than you may think. Additional helpful links to all of our partners can be found in the video description below. I highly encourage you to look through them just to be aware of these other official resources so that you might lead others to them in the future one day. The city has many partners at the local, state, and national level that all help to preserve sea turtles on our beautiful shores. And with that, we come to the end of this month's webisode. If you have any questions regarding what you've seen in this webisode, please feel free to email me at the email address shown here. Be sure to subscribe to the city's official YouTube channel and hit the bell so you can get notified for all the latest SustainaWhat webisodes. In the next webisode, next month, we will be discussing the topic of urban forestry. I've been Zach. I hope you have enjoyed this content. Thank you for watching and have a great day.